Hello, everyone, and welcome. I can see that we're already getting a lot of participants coming in. So we'll just give another sort of minute or so while you're all streaming in. If you already want to start putting your names and where you're tuning in from in the chat, that would be great. Start networking with each other. After all, that's what this webinar is about. And in 1 minute, we will get started with the webinar and the Q&A. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Marcel from Germany. Okay, we've nearly got 200 people in here already, so this is fantastic. And I'm seeing people tuning in from all over the world: Ukraine, India, Hong Kong, South Africa, Latvia, hello neighbor. Hi, Brazil. Hi, Malta. Hi, Cambodia. Wow, it must be late there tonight. Okay, so while you're streaming in, I will just make a note of a few things. So this webinar is about fundraising, grants and growth in Estonia. I'm Hannah Brown. I'm from the e-Residency team, and I'm joined here by my colleague Raimo. I'm also joined by a few special guests who will introduce themselves in a moment. Just a few housekeeping things. The chat is for networking. I encourage you to do it. You might meet, your next client or business partner in the chat. The Q&A is for the questions. And we have a few people in the Q&A answering questions both in writing and at the end of our presentations by Raimo and by some of our guests on their products and services and the opportunities for e-residents in Estonia. We will do some live Q&A at the end of this session as well. The webinar is going to be very fast and full of content, but don't worry, we will provide you with a link tomorrow where you can download the slides. And we're also live streaming this on YouTube. So if you miss something and want to watch this again, you can watch the recording on YouTube from tomorrow onwards. Okay, I think with that, we're ready to get started. So I'm going to share my screen and hopefully it works. Okay, so as I mentioned, this webinar is about fundraising, grants and growth in Estonia. It's an e-Residency live Q&A with special guests from Startup Wise Guys and Prototron. I can't change the, oh, here we go. Sorry about that, guys. We've got a few speakers today, and I think we'll do a quick round of introductions. So as I said, I'm Hannah, I'm head of content at e-Residency.
I'm Raimo, head of partnerships in the e-Residency team.
Herty, how about you give a little intro?
Hello, my name is Herty. I'm co-founder of Startup Wise Guys, early stage investor here in Estonia, investing actually globally. And I've been an entrepreneur for a long time, and now I'm investing into startups.
Thank you. And Jana?
Hello from my side, and it's so cool to be also not from, no, it's not cool to be not from Estonia, but I'm now from Spain. So hola to everyone who is from Spanish-speaking countries. And I'm the CEO of Prototron Fund, and we also investing or supporting very early Prototron team, very early startup teams when you guys are only in team and dream stage. So we are happy to open for you the doors in our Estonian vibrant startup community.
Muchas gracias, Jana. Okay, so I'm going to just give a few quick intro slides, just in case we have people in the audience who don't know much about e-Residency itself. So e-Residency is an Estonian government program providing a digital identity to foreign entrepreneurs from around the world. With that digital identity, you get access to Estonian e-services, you can make secure digital signatures, you have a digital key to do business in Estonia, and you're joining a global community of 100,000 e-residents now. But the name e-residency is a little bit misleading. So I just want to clear up a few myths as well. E-residency is not a travel document. It doesn't give you any rights of citizenship, visa, or a residence permit in Estonia or the EU. It also does not mean that you have a tax residency in Estonia. And it also doesn't guarantee you a business bank account or a personal bank account in Estonia. And if you want to know more about any of these topics, next month we will be doing a live Q&A more generally on e-residency. So I would recommend joining that Q&A as well after you've watched this one. So opening a company in Estonia has a few benefits, a lot of benefits actually, but here are a few that we think are very important. Firstly, Estonia has an extremely transparent and secure digital business environment, so you can feel safe opening and running a business here. It's also extremely easy to do business here. It's very quick to start a company. You have a lot of help from service providers and government programs to support the management, your business administration. And as we're going to hear today, there are a lot of opportunities to scale and grow your business as well. And finally, I already mentioned the community, but this is a huge benefit for e-residents, that you already have 100,000 people who've done starting a business in Estonia before, and who can help you with your own journey. So to become an e-resident, you can apply online in 30 minutes. You then have to pick up your card, the digital ID card that I mentioned before. There are 45 plus locations worldwide where you can do that, mostly Estonian embassies. The entire process from the moment you apply online to when you pick up your card takes from 3 to 8 weeks, depending on various circumstances, and costs between 100 and 130 euros. Once you have your digital ID card, you can then register your company online in just a few steps in the Estonian e-services environment. The world record for starting a company is 15 minutes and 33 seconds, but most people take on average 1 or 2 hours. And if you do it on the weekend, it might take a day or two for it to register in the system. I mentioned service providers. We have curated a vetted directory of business service providers on our website. It's called the e-Residency Marketplace. And Raimo has done a lot of work making sure that we have a lot of tax accountants, lawyers, company formation, virtual office providers, marketing, recruitment, and more. So if you are thinking about e-residency and starting a company in Estonia, I highly recommend having a look at the marketplace. Okay, so I think that's the introduction. So now let's get into the real content of this webinar. And Raimo, I'm going to turn over to you on the overview of Estonian funding opportunities.
Indeed, thanks. Welcome everyone. Today I'm going to give you a short introduction of what's the landscape in Estonia, where to turn to in terms of funding, and also what are the possibilities to join the startup ecosystem through the accelerators or incubators.
It needs to be over here.
Right, thanks. Oh. So all in all, if we think of the whole landscape of startups here in Estonia, then and the funding or finding opportunities to grow those startups or find the next round of investments, then Estonian startup ecosystem umbrella organization Startup Estonia has basically a very good overview of the whole landscape of support organizations as well as funding opportunities. But in general, in Estonia, the landscape has divided, or the startups are divided into the categories based on the phase where they are, whether it's still the idea, whether it's a seed round startup, there is some MVP already. Is it a growing startup or it's already a scale-up? And the general logic is that the more developed is your company, then there are more and more funding and growing opportunities in Estonia. From Startup Estonia website, you can see there are a good overview of different companies that are helping you with the funding or acceleration or incubation as well. So we are keeping today startups mainly in the focus, or the companies that are aiming to scale their business, maybe not just enjoying the status quo, but aiming for higher stars. So startup ecosystem has been growing very quickly in Estonia in recent 10 or more years. You can see from the graph that the investments brought into Estonian startup companies has grown rapidly. Number of deals has grown rapidly. And that's why the landscape is also very diverse, and everyone could find something for them. However, we need to keep in mind that in the current financial situation, sadly, 2023, based on my data or the information available for me, hasn't been so active as the few previous years, but all the good ideas are still funded, I believe. All in all, if we think of financing stages and opportunities of getting some money, then if you are in the pre-seed stage, in the very early stage, then in Estonia, there are several grants available. Also, joining incubators, accelerators could be your chance, as well as actually turning to angel investors. If you are in the seed stage, then also some VC funds, VC investors could be your option, in addition to the before mentioned options. And also ESPAN, which is a business angels network, very active in Estonia, also organizing pitching competition and monthly pitching events. So they are the ones who to turn to, and also some bigger business competitions like Ajujaht or Brain Hunt, which I'm going to talk about a bit later. If you are already bigger and aiming to Series A funding, then angel investor networks, VC funds, and some of the accelerators could be the option for you. And if you are even bigger and also already looking for investments B or C series, then also some more traditional financing opportunities or equity funds could be someone to turn to, in addition to VCs and angel investor networks. Today, we are focusing quite a lot on acceleration and incubation programs in Estonia. There are three leading ones, we may say. Startup Wise Guys and Prototron are here with us today. In addition to that, also Technopol. All three have had good experience and very nice cooperation with the e-resident companies. Among their alumni, there have always been some good e-resident companies, so we encourage to think of those programs. Now, to think of out of the box, however, there is a program called Accelerate Estonia, which is a government-led initiative, or as they say, government innovation lab, which is a test bed for crazy, awesome, innovative ideas, how to improve cybersecurity, GovTech, and Estonia could be used as a test ground for your idea. It does not have like very clear clear patches with starting and ending dates. It's more ongoing process. So if you are in that kind of business, or you have actually a aim or goal to change how the societies or e-governments should work, then Accelerate Estonia is the one you should turn to for more information and maybe apply for acceleration. And then in Estonia, there are also several industry-specific accelerators and incubators. Some of them are in Tallinn, some of them are in Tartu, some are online, some are in Latvia. For example, Beamline is focusing on clean tech, health founders for health tech. ESA BAC is a space tech, and some other options there as well. Definitely worth to check out more from Startup Estonia ecosystem landscape website. And then there are events. I think majority of people in startups in Estonia have one way or another participated or been connected to Garage 48 hackathons, which is like a very, very usual way of getting your first experience to startup world at all. I think we both here have been part of the hackathons before. So it's Garage 48 is something to think of if you have an idea, maybe already a small MVP or pre-MVP, but you would like to improve it, try to test it with mentors, try to find new connections, then these Garage events could be the thing for you. So check out their website. They are very diverse in terms of topics. They are quite often industry specific or geography specific. I just yesterday checked that, for example, next bigger events are for female founders in Ukraine, and they have a hugely popular event every year in Africa, and this one is coming in this autumn again. So check out, and also they have also sometimes megathons, which are hackathons to creating or building up real things. And I've heard that the legendary one is the wood hackathon. So people think of business ideas connected to how to use wood. And then there is a brain hunt where the deadline is actually this week. It's a huge business competition in Estonia, which consists of a big acceleration program where the top 20 teams get a lot of boot camps, trainings, mentoring, pitching competitions, pitching trainings. So it's a really tough program, but worth to think of if you want to develop your business quickly. Top 10 or top 9, probably, yeah, top 9 will have an honor to continue the competition in the TV, in our national television, or maybe it's not in Estonian television anymore. Anyway, in a big TV show, those top 10 or top 9 teams will compete in several episodes on different topics, and then the final winner will be chosen. There is a prize money, but even more important, you get the big visibility and interest among investors for your startup. And for example, if you think of in the context of e-Residency, then last winner, Complok, which is developing AML tools, were actually tools and trainings for AML and KYC purposes, actually is our marketplace member and working with e-residents and e-resident companies. So worth to think of if you have already some good ideas and some connection to Estonia. But then the other side of it is the public funding, and there is the joint organization of Enterprise Estonia and Credex, which is giving out grants, and the other side is loans and guarantees or insurances. So if we think of the public funding, then the grants are mainly meant for developing your business, whether you develop the product, the processes, or the team. So they aim to boost innovation, attract investments, or make you more attractive for the foreign investors and also international professionals. And also some grants are dedicated to increasing the export capacity and tourism revenue. Whereas the loans and guarantees are more into, let's say, making your feeling safer in using debt services or like actually using loan. Credex is like a middleman between a financial institution and you as a borrower. They provide credit insurance services and state-backed guarantees, mainly for companies, for example, who are aiming to fast growth or development and expansion to foreign markets. So guarantees for exporters are, for example, one of the tools quite commonly used. Maybe those are not always necessarily the first option for e-resident companies, but to certain type of e-resident companies, some of them may be actually a solution. I'm not going into very detail with those grants and loans today. You can check out more from the website, and but I encourage you to ask questions because we have a grant specialist in Zoom panel who will answer you in the written form. But some things to keep in mind is that actually European Union structural funds are allocated by Enterprise Estonia and Credits. So this is where the money comes, and that is given out by as grants. Those grants change over time depending on years. But one thing is sure, that there are some focus topics or focus industries. And for maybe even up to 10 years, for the next 10 years, we say that those grants and other support measures are mainly focused on health tech, energy tech, or smart energy solutions, smart digital solutions, deep tech, also adding value to local resources, like in Estonia, for example. Is it the wood? Is it the food, natural resources? And then also one Estonian specific thing is development of Estonian language and culture. But it makes sense to keep in mind that the smart solutions that are more into the energy and mobility and health tech. These are in the key focus. And some grants need mandatory preliminary consultation. If you think of e-residence, we actually found out that there are 4 different kind of support measures which could be eligible for you, more or less. It's starting grants, innovation voucher, development voucher, and applied research programs. And I will give you a short overview of what they are, but definitely it's worth you read more from the websites and ask your question in the chat. Sorry, in the Q&A panel. So starting grants right now, they are not opened. It's coming in a few months. It's probably the easiest to get kind of like, you of course need to be eligible and fill all the criteria, but it's probably the easiest way of the structure. It's for starting companies up to 2 years old, at least historically has been. The criteria have not set exactly yet for the next round, but historically it has been for young companies that already has something real, like the product, and they are like have proven to be feasible, and the amount of money given out will be up around 50,000 euros, 15,000 euros. But it is likely though that there is a condition that some new jobs in Estonia need to be created, but it's not confirmed yet. So if you are into deep tech or a science-based business, or your startup is actually really using the brain work of scientists, then innovation voucher as well as development voucher are maybe the things to look into. They are both opening soon based on the information available for us. They are mainly meant for product development, or in general, developing your product processes, components of the products to innovate. So innovation voucher is more for buying in the knowledge and the services. We can call them innovation services, which help you to improve your product. The sum is up to 7,000 euros, and it needs to be an Estonian company that gets the funding. And the development voucher can also be used for basically recruiting the experts in-house for some time. And they both are like for prototyping different technical solutions, the technical development, also doing experiments, testing, using the lab services to understand how your product works, and so on, as well as everything related to IP rights and the legal protection of your products and the patents and everything related to that, and also everything related to accreditations and certifications and standardization is also something could be covered on that. All those vouchers though need self-funding as well. So if the support sum is up to 35,000 euros, for example, then self-financing should be there as well. Usually it's from 20 to 30% and up. And then there is a applied research program, which is more specifically dedicated on developing new technologies or enhancing them, testing new materials, for example, using labs, gathering knowledge about the feasibility of the technology. So different kind of applied researches and laboratory tests, for example, are supported, as well as primary protection of intellectual property. The grants for applied research programs is are a bit higher, up to 150,000 euros. And then the last thing is Credex starter loan, which may be the case for some of you. In general, it's for financing company investments or circulating capital to make your company more sustainable financially. It's for small and medium-sized companies up to 3 years. It can be at least in the context of e-Residency, quite a big company up to 250 employees and turnover up to 50 million euros. Maybe a few things that are necessary here is that a maximum loan sum is up to 100,000 euros. Interest is up to 7% plus 6 months Euribor, and the loan period is up to 60 months. But you can read more from the Credex website. Though this was a quick overview of what are the public options. Think of your business, prepare yourself, and then start investigating the other options. Just one comment, maybe not to scare you off. Those public funding application forms are in Estonian, but we have got the confirmation that they can be filled in English. Just use the good translation service or your Estonian friends to be sure that you understand the questions correctly.
Or use a service provider, maybe.
Use a service provider. E-Resident company mostly have a service provider that can help with the translations. Yeah. Ask more from the experts in the Q&A panel. Thank you from my side so far, and then welcome Startup Wise guys and Prototron.
Thank you, Raimo. So who is going first? Startup Wise guys? Herity?
Yep. Let's do that.
Okay.
Sure, why not? Can you see my
your
slides?
screen? Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. All good.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Let me talk about who we are and what we do. I'm co-founder of Startup Wise Guys. We started here in Estonia as an accelerator 2012, and now we have done the investments in more than 11 years, and we are not that much Estonian based anymore. We are pretty international. Our team is in 9 cities in Europe. We cover Africa, and actually we cover pretty much global investments these days. How we got started? You probably have heard that in Estonia we got a very early success story when Scandinavian entrepreneurs, together with Estonian technical founders, started Skype and exited it pretty early to eBay and later on to Microsoft. And we actually saw that in Estonia there is possible to do a global big business and sell it for billions to big American companies. And after that, the Estonian ecosystem picked up, and many startups start coming out of the Skype alumni and other people who knew how it's done and then learned from that experience. And this is something that inspired us as well, that we saw that it's a good place to get started. And I was the first leading angel investor who raised the first funding from 15 angels and the government venture arm. And we started to do investments back in 2012. And what is our mission? What we try to do is to help founders become entrepreneurs. If you just start a company, this is not entrepreneurship for us yet, because you need to develop a company, you need to hire people, raise money, build the products, and so on. And this is where we come and we help. And our goal is to help to build sustainable companies and global ambitious companies, international companies. We are not investing and supporting companies who are also good companies doing hairdresser salon in Tallinn or a bakery in Riga or somewhere else. This is not what we are focused on, but for that there is other companies who are helping this kind of companies. How far we are now? We have done 40 batches. One batch is usually around 10 companies at the time. You can also call it class. There is let's say 30 founders in average. and they come together and start learning how to grow their business with us. So far, 850 and more founders have participated in this 40 accelerator batches, and we have invested more than 380 companies in our first 11 years. Last year we did a little more than 100 investment. The number is growing. Now we are working on a plan how to get the 200 investments per year done. We have a large pool of mentors. Some of them, of course, our own team members, but very many experts in different verticals will come and join. It doesn't mean you have to talk to all 550, but we choose ourselves and we recommend the right ones for you if we know what is your business about. And our portfolio survival rate is pretty high. It's 85% now, but of course it depends on the time. If you look at the earlier investments, then not that many are alive. Some of them exited, some of them closed down. But if you look overall 380 companies, then the survival rate is very, very high. Our portfolio companies employ around 3,600 people now, and the number is growing quickly all the time. What kind of verticals we are investing? Right now, there is 5 verticals. We started with B2B SaaS, software as a service. This is our longest and biggest vertical so far. Fintech is also very large. We have done it 5-6 years at least, only like fintech batches. Of course, there is insurance tech and other similar topics covered in fintech. In cybersecurity, we have special vehicle, special team for that, and we do a cybersecurity defense batches every year. And sustainability is one of the verticals we are very, very bullish about. We have a partner and program usually running in Copenhagen in Denmark, but we can change the locations as well. But this is something we really believe in. And the next one, XR, extended reality. This is something we have done now. I think it's the 3rd batch. It's super interesting to see how the new world will look like, what the metaverse how it will form, how you can work with extended reality. And in overall, we don't do that. We don't do consumer investments. We are basically in B2B investor. How does the program look like? It's actually used to be 3 months. Now it's 5.5 months. What we are looking for is actually the founders. We need to see the complementary teams. We want to see that if it's very technical, then definitely needs to be technical people in the team. But in an ideal team, you have at least 2 founders. Usually we don't invest in single founders. You need to have 1 business, 1 technical person minimum. But of course, if you need to do enterprise sales, you need to show that you have somebody who really understands the sales part. But mostly what we look for is a great teams who have a huge vision and want to build a huge company. They have a lot of passion. They are stubborn. They don't give up. They work really hard. They are ambitious, and they want to build a big business, scalable, global, international, not the local company. How does the program look like? It's 16 weeks. Full-time participation, at least one founder is expected. We're gonna teach you, it's kind of like a vertical business school, which is only how to scale your tech startup. We don't talk about anything about economics, mathematics, or any other topics that you can find in a normal business school. We talk only sales, marketing, strategy, product, fundraising, company building, and then pitching, of course, to otherwise it's hard to raise the money. We have 5 implementation weeks, mostly individual work check-ins. You have people, you agree the milestones that you're gonna achieve in the program, you get help to achieving them, and then you report how are you doing. And then you have a time for implementation and learnings as well. Yeah, and just shortly, one example. Actually, Fabrice came from Ivory Coast, Africa, to our back then Riga program, FinTech. And now a couple of years later, he has 30 people. He has raised money. Now he is serving in 7 different Africa countries. He has close to 200,000 customers using his basically online banking services. He has a physical card. It's a basically neobank solution. And we have helped him from the scratch to build it up and still supporting doing follow-on investments in the later rounds. This is about it. If you scan the code, you can check the program and do the application in our systems, and we are happy to talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Herty. That was really cool. So I think we're turning over to Jana now.
Yes, Prototron.
Okay, thank you. Yes, and Prototron is really coming before Startup Wise guys. So those guys who are not very big businesses yet, so they can come to us. Give me just one more second. So, and yes, the name of this fund is Prototron. So your first task will be to learn this word by heart. But in Google, we know how to help you with spelling. So even if you type Prototon or Pototon, we still can catch you. No worries. So, and what we do, we basically work with tech-intense ideas. And at the level or the stage when you are just thinking about or you get validated your idea in the lab, you know what you want to do, or you have some invention, or you have a patent, or you have researched something in the university, or you have done something in your sector where you're working, and you have found out how the tech can save the world. So this is the place where you can turn yourself to Prototron. And what I mean by the tech intense, that we really want to help those guys who are coming to us with robots, with machine learning, with AI, with XR, and so on. So we are a little bit sector agnostic, but we really would like to create some kind of impact with you. So it means that, of course, we would like to invest or to support more of clean tech, of health tech, of ed tech, and so on. Biotech now is very, very trendy. And just again to show you the same what already was shown to you, that how we position ourselves. When you have already the concept, when you know what you're gonna do, but maybe you don't know what is the market you go, how to start, how to build, what production where should be and how it should be, then this is the point where you can join our program. And when you're already on validation step, it means that you have some kind of payment customers, or you raised your first money more than 100K, then we say that you are maybe too mature and you can go to Startup Wise Guys, or you can go to Technopol, or whatever else you can find in Estonia or in other countries. So, and what we can give you as soon as you get into our program is a little bit, we accept 40 up to 50 people. And we also have acceleration program. And during the acceleration program, basically what you learn is to find your market product fit, is to go through the first interaction with the clients or investors, is to create your first investor slide deck, your first documents, get acquainted with the legal side of how you grow your startup. We will help you to check, do you need any kind of standards on licenses or whatever else. Then we have mentoring and networking sessions. Then we help you to run, if you want, your first crowdfunding pilot project. Then we have demos for investors and participations and major startup events. This is for the whole program, for the 40 up to 50 teams, and this is hybrid program. So it means it's 90% is online, but we have 2 up to 3 online, not offline events, so in real time. And the winners will get fast track to Technopol incubator. You will get vouchers and support from our partners, from legal partners, from communication partners, marketing agencies, and so on. And also we give up to 35,000K for the winner. And in the round, we have up to 150,000 euro per one program. So it means there are more than one winner per program. And just once again, how this funnel looks like, that there are 200 up to 300 applications we receive per round. Then we accept top 50, sometimes top 40, depends on the topic, or do you want to be a niche or something. And then after the program is over, with the mentors, we select top 10 teams. And top 10 teams are again prepared and trained to pitch before our expert committee. And then, as mentioned, 3 up to 5, or sometimes 7 teams get granted from our fund pool. Workshops from one side, and also we are working closely with our ESBAN, Estonian Business Angels Network. So we also run in a parallel a syndicate. But if the money what we give from Prototron is equity free, non-dilutive money, so it's a gift for you, then when we talk about a syndicate, then in syndicate you are always talking with the real investors, and then the equity is coming into the game. And just a little bit of our history, that we were established a little bit more than 10 years ago by our biggest bank, Swedbank, Science Park Technopol, and Tallinn Technical University. Today is TalTech. From that time, we screened more than 7,000 ideas. So we know a lot about their emerging teams. And we have communities, stable community of 60 mentors, and they are very diverse. And of course, every batch, we also add new mentors according to the teams what we have in our program. And we have run already 29 programs, but some programs were smaller. So our expert committee members have listened to 250 pitches where they have selected 98 teams to get funded with a total amount of 1,350,000 euro. It's for today. And we are happy that the success rate, if you can imagine, so early stage startups, we are more than 70%. It means that the teams who get support from us have already raised as follow-up investments for more than 80 million euro. And they, for example, they generated revenue in 2022 on the third quarter is 35 million euro and created almost 500 jobs or workplaces here in Estonia, and it brings already triple amount of money to our government. This is the slide with our partners. So just for you to get glance that they are very diverse universities and research groups, but also the industrial partners. So we really want to help you to go from this prototype, something from the laboratory to the big scale. And some of our alumni, maybe you have heard about CoModule, Linguist, or SimPower, or Parcel C, or Fusebox, and transformative, same as you can see. Maybe if you know, there's food tech, there is energy, there is ed tech, the med tech, and so on, but a lot of the technology inside, especially artificial intelligence if we talk about software solutions, and robotics and IoT solutions if we talk about hardware. And how to apply, very easy. You just go to prototron.ee. I hope you have already learned this word. And up until 15th of September, there will be one round this year, so it will be big. But I suppose it will be more fun. So just be sure that you have submitted your application until 15th of September. And we will run also Prototron Academy, but there is a hybrid Prototron Academy available also on our website, so you can check some workshops and study and can work with our templates. And if you submit your idea earlier, then we will have time to give you some feedback. So to be sure that your application is the best and really can get into the program. That's all for me. So you can mail me, or you can contact me via LinkedIn. You can find me there, or just WhatsApp.
Thank you, Jana. Raimo, did you want to add something?
No, it was just a technical comment that I have seen also some questions in the chat. Please do add questions to the Q&A. And I also see like a very active chat. Wow. Wow.
We have Anton, who is assisting me or supporting me. He's also in Prototron team, so he takes charge if I will not be in time.
Yes, thank you, Anton and Billy from Startup Wise Guys and Prototron. I think I got the companies the wrong way around there, but those guys have been helping answer some of your questions in the Q&A. And we also have a colleague of mine, Sergey, who's not on the whose face isn't on the screen at the moment, but he's also been answering, and I've also been jumping in there. And
we have also Christina from Enterprise Estonia, the Innovation and Enterprise Agency, who is the expert in public funding. So if you have questions about that, then she is there to answer you.
So it's a real team effort.
Mm-hmm.
So one question that I have before we go into the Q&A is, what about e-residence? One of the questions that we said that we wanted to answer in this webinar is, are there e-residents getting funding for their Estonian companies? And, is it easy for them to do that? So maybe Jana, first you, and then Hertie from Startup Wise Guys. Could you talk a little bit about that aspect with your funds?
Can you please repeat? Because I was answering the question.
I'm sorry. E-residents. Do you have e-residents who have Estonian companies in your cohorts, and how easy or difficult or similar or different it is for them to apply?
For Prototron, because we are not basically we are not investing, so we cannot earn money from the equity what we, for example, take for in exchange for investment. So it means that we are really looking for how the team can be connected with the startup ecosystem. So this competence and activity could stay here. What we see in our history that we have a lot of EU residencies who are working with our founders, who are not those ones who are running around here in Estonia, but those ones who are maybe a CTO very often or salesperson very much, because in Estonia, Prototron is the best engineer's friend. So we have a lot of salespersons from outside. But every batch we have also e-residents who are going through the program. I cannot recall now any winner who will be like the one, from only the e-residents, but we have always in finals like 3 or 4 teams who are holding the e-residency, and sometimes even they can come over only once for these final events. So, but what they get, even if they're not here in Estonia, they get a lot of connections. And I know a lot of teams who are not winners from Prototron, but because of connections and because of the new knowledge, they are continuing with their products, with their services, and stay connected with Estonia as for investors or for clients. For example, Wise Clean is one of the brilliant example, guy who studied as an e-resident and now just moved to Estonia maybe like a couple of months ago.
And Herti, from your experience at Startup Wise Guys, do you have many e-residents?
We actually invite very many founders to do the e-residence and open the company in Estonia. For example, Ukrainians, Turkish, and some others. We don't invest in Turkish or Ukrainian legal identities, but after they do e-residency, open company here, we invest, and we have done it very, very many times, and this is part of normal business for us.
This is great news for our audience, I'm sure. Okay, so let's dive into the Q&A and see if there are some questions. I know I've already seen a few questions about crypto, about is it possible to fundraise in crypto, or is it possible to fundraise for crypto companies? So do either of you have any thoughts on that particular topic?
We don't invest in crypto, but of course you can fundraise it from somewhere else, but not from us.
Yes, same for us. We're not much about crypto, but we do like blockchain, and we really wait for the solutions where you use the technology not for maybe cryptocurrencies, but to create smart contracts, or you can find something else very cool. For example, we have one team now from Latvia. They are working with NFTs and in edtech sector, and super cool.
And there's a question from Lily here where she's basically saying that she doesn't know much about grants. She doesn't know much about funding. And I suppose this is a more general question. If someone is a little bit more of a beginner to this, to financing their business and to looking for investments for their business, where should they start? Is there any advice that you could give, sort of newer, younger entrepreneurs about looking at funding their products and services?
Maybe because I work so much with this early stage, maybe Herti, if you allow, I can start. That first of all, what I suggest always is just try to understand what you want to achieve, and are you more like consultancy, or you want to work as an expert somewhere, or you want to build some kind of a product? Because this is now as Startup Wise Guys and as Prototron, we are talking about the products. We are talking about something you create in technology, which can be scalable without multiplying your working hours. So for example, as Herti mentioned, bakery. So just so simple example. If you want to open the bakery, then it's cool business, and it's very, I don't know, I love bakeries here in Barcelona, but this is how you can scale. You open it, you have queues and so on. So you have bank loan, because banks know how this kind of business already working. But for example, if you say, okay, I don't want to open bakery, but I want to create, I don't know, AI to select the best flour to some croissants, or I want to make a robot and I will sell the robot to other bakeries to make croissants. Well, this is the moment when Prototron and Startup Wise Guys can already help you. But if you just start, just first of all, understand what are you doing and what kind of business what you want to do, where it should be, and what are the possibilities for you to start with your own money or with your own time. So just bootstrap, try all kind of free possibilities. Facebook, Instagram, your marketplace. Don't do anything else. Don't create a lot of possibilities. You can build your own website for free. A lot of possibilities. You can create app for free with no coding. So just try. Look what is response of the clients, and then make other steps.
Yeah, I think Jana covered well the bootstrapping part of it. I also believe that founders should find a product market fit without raising any serious money, and then when you already know that you are doing something meaningful for your customers and they are ready to pay and they are coming back to pay again, then it's the best time to raise money and start using that money to scale your business. But of course, it's not always possible. And when you need your first money in, you build something more in deep tech or something that it's not only website. If you build a robots or something else, you need some money from the beginning, because it's not possible to do hardware company only bootstrapping without any money. But the first, it's a long story how you can finance the company. First thing in the beginning is called FFF. It's Friends, Fools, Family. You go to your neighbor, your mother, or somebody else. But what I would recommend you to do is to tell them that I'm doing startup. It's super risky. I'm happy to take your money and give you maybe some shares, but you shouldn't give me the money that you're expecting to getting back, because it's very risky and most of the startups will not work out as they they are planning it. And if they are still willing you to give the money, even you are telling them you probably will not get it back, then it's okay to take your friends or family's money and do your best. And of course, it might be success story and they get it back 100 times or more. But if it doesn't work out, they are also okay. I think you should start from there. But then there is angels, VCs, accelerators, banks, grants, so many other options that I don't think we can cover all of them now.
Yeah, to answer this question or to give another view is I recommend you to check out our YouTube channel. There is a special interview with a board member of Estonian Business Angels Network, which is covering exactly the topic, like how to get started or what's the funding landscape in Estonia at all for pre-seed and seed and the early stage startups. So there are some golden rules given out by Lauri Antelainen. So I recommend you watch that video if you have time.
Yep, that's on the e-Residency YouTube channel. Yeah. So after you watch that, you can then watch this recording again. Mm-hmm. I will add the link to the YouTube channel in the chat in just a moment, but let's look for another question. Okay, there's someone here called Kosala, and she has a contract design company for medical FDA class 2/wearable tech/health tech products. And they're currently operating in Sri Lanka, but they're trying to move into Europe. Is this area, this contract design area, something that maybe Prototron or Startup Wise Guys would be interested in looking at, given that there is that health tech connection, wearable tech connection?
If it's a service company that they do the design for a concrete customer for a concrete project, then it's not exactly what we are looking for. We are looking for a scalable product companies. Then you do a product and people can buy this product many times. But if you have to do it every time new design for a new customer, then it's more a service company for me, and we don't invest in service companies. We invest in product companies.
Yes, same for Prototron. So it seems really that you are like bringing other teams, other health tech teams to Europe. So we can help these health tech teams, but not unfortunately you. And if you think about how to automatize your, then I will write you, suggested to look, for example, for Avocado, such kind of smart contract solution. So how they created the product of their services.
And Avocado is on our marketplace?
Yes.
So yeah, so if you're looking for Avocado, they're on our e-Residency marketplace, which I've already linked in the chat. There have also been a couple of questions. I think some of them have been answered, but it might be a good question to bring out in speaking as well for the benefit of the audience about if people want to be in your cohorts, do they have to be physically in Estonia, or can they be, remote, basically?
So for us, the program is, as I mentioned, is hybrid, so it's online. It means that you don't need to be here, but as soon as we will decide are you winner or not, then we need to find some kind of real connection with Estonia. It's just because of our fund. We also raising money from here, from Estonian enterprises.
You don't need to move to Estonia in our case, and we have programs in very many different cities in Spain, Malaga, then in Copenhagen, then in Tallinn, then in Bucharest, Romania, and so on. But at least one or two founders should travel to some events offline as well. But it's hybrid. Most of the things you can do online, but some of the events we would like to see you as well and meet physically, and it's actually good for you, but it's not too much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're almost out of time, and I thought maybe there's one question here that I think would be quite a good one to answer. We sort of have answered it already, but it would be good to confirm it. That Ratanak from Cambodia is looking to expand into Europe, and their advice is, do I need to open a company in Europe, and how would that work? Well, I would say that I'll throw that to you guys, but if you do want to start a company in Europe, recommend getting e-Residency and starting the company in Estonia first. As Hertie said, they actually recommend the Estonian company for this exact reason. But do you guys have any advice for people in maybe in Southeast Asia or Africa or the MENA region or South America who want to expand into Europe? Do you think it's a good idea to open a company first of all, and how would you suggest them going on from that and getting the funding for that company?
I would suggest first of all to get to such kind of event as it now, so to meet someone. Because if you don't plan to relocate yourself for a couple of weeks or months, to make your business in Europe, then you need someone who will help you here. So first of all, make some connections and networks. And then, as you already heard, it takes you only 15 or 16 minutes to open the company. And you can do it again as soon as you are sure that this is your place. So this is Europe is their target for you, and you want to relocate partly or relocate completely to the Europe. But of course, Estonia is the best.
Great. Anything to add, Hertie?
I think it depends on your business. If your customers are in Europe and you want to do business in Europe, then sure, you can open Estonian company, and this is EU company. You can do business in all the EU countries really easily using Estonian company. But it's all about where is your customer. You should be close to your customer and talk to them and understand what they need. But European market is big, but at the same time there is very many different languages and different regulations still what you have to take in count when you make your decisions.
Great advice, thank you. So just before we end, I'm just going to share my screen one more time, just with a few final things. I can click this button. So we've heard from Startup Wise Guys and Prototron. Okay, so what's next? Tomorrow you will receive a link from e-Residency of Estonia to our website. And on that website, you'll be able to download the slides that you've seen today. And we've also put in there a checklist and some other resources for you to read through. I also recommend while you're there, taking a look at the rest of our website. It's recently been done up and updated, and it has a lot of really useful information and guides and step-by-step processes about e-residency and starting a company and running a company. And we also have a few pages specifically on funding opportunities, growth, accelerators, these types of things. After the end of this, webinar finishes, you'll get a pop-up with a survey to fill out. So please give us your feedback. That's really helpful because we do make changes to our Q&As based on your feedback. If you have questions that you weren't answered today and you would like to get an answer from them, please contact our support. Here is the email address for our support channel. And finally, if you aren't yet an e-resident and would like to apply, I've put here the URL for you to find how to apply there as well. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to throw one last time to our guests to just end on anything that you would like to end on. Hertie, how did you find today? And is there any way that people can contact you or your team about Startup Wise Guys?
Yeah, you can go to our website and check out the programs and terms and everything else. And if you like what we do, you're welcome to apply, and we will consider definitely to your company as a one of the potential investment. And if you're not ready yet, we also have an online accelerator which is equity free, and you can participate on that if you haven't really figured out your product and company yet. It's good place to start. And if you want to join with somebody else, we also have a founders club. You're welcome to check out this product as well and see maybe this is for you. But I wish you all the well and build the big businesses and enjoy life. Thank you.
Thank you, Hertie. And Jana, any final thoughts from you as well?
Yes, same for me. For Prototron, you're only welcome. Really suggest you first of all make your research. Google is your best friend, plus the marketplace of e-Residency in prototron.ee. You will find the academy there, so you can check what are workshops, what are templates, what we want from you. And the nice story is that the Prototron, when you apply, you don't need to have an e-Residency or your company yet. We want you to really to think and to analyze your opportunities, your ideas and your wishes, because the best, even the biggest and the most successful company should complement you as being the most happiest person in the world. So have a nice day.
Thank you, Jana. Raimo, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I recommend you to get to know more about the Estonian startup ecosystem, where the Prototron and Startup Wise Guys are a big part of it, but definitely visit our website. But in addition to that, check out also Startup Estonia resources, the website. the map of the landscape, which gives like a really good overview, like where to turn to if you have only the idea, if you already want to access to some accelerators, if you want funding, if you want some kind of support by the support organizations. So this is a good tool to start with, and also I think one place you should visit is the e-Residents of Estonia Facebook group if you are already e-resident, and check out what others are asking and telling there, and ask your own question if there is any, and definitely follow us, because if you happen to physically be in Estonia, then it's likely that we meet up somewhere.
Yes, and just one more thing to add, in May, Latitude 59 is on. It's a big business conference in Tallinn. I'm sure these guys will be there, we'll be there. And yeah, if you can make it to Estonia for that you'll get a real physical sense of the startup ecosystem and the opportunities that are available to Estonian companies and e-residents.
Indeed. Actually, Latitude has also pitching competition application round open, and this time they give out 1 million euros in investments. So if you already have something, then check out quickly. I think the application deadline is somewhere in the beginning of April.
So there's still time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so thank you, everyone. It's been really great having you, and all your questions have been wonderful. And I'm really happy to see that the chat has just been so busy with networking. I can see that there are WhatsApp groups being made, LinkedIn connections being made, and that's really fantastic to see. So wherever you are in the world, thank you for joining us, and I hope this was helpful, and have a really wonderful day and rest of the week. So, ciao.
Thank you.